everything is overheating. I'll probably lose my phone and all my gear at some point.
Oh no. Yeah, it's so hot.
Well, and here's the thing. Yesterday, when I was recording, not so much today, silkworms were falling from the sky. It was like a biblical plague back here, right?
Oh my God.
And so, actually, this morning I was walking around and one was dangling from my glasses.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
That's
exactly
odd.
right. It's a little creepy. So,
Very odd.
so hey, the good news is the beer's free back here, and you can set up, do whatever you want. The bad news is you'll have worms.
You have worms. Great.
I mean, I assume that Bud Light causes worms just
Exactly.
in general.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, life is all about compromise,
You know, you got to do what you got to do.
and I think we're officially doing the interview.
Okay.
This is Car Con Carne. We are backstage. Airstream Futures. 50% of the band, Devon and Jeff, are here. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
I'm sure you're tired. You kicked off the Rebel stage today.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It was great. It was hot. It was awesome.
It was great. It was hot. It was awesome. But, I mean, just the idea of performing, not just at Riot Fest, but performing
I know.
to a big crowd again.
It felt cathartic, you know.
How could it not?
I mean, it's wild, right?
Yes.
We're all just trying to figure out how to navigate it all.
It's weird, you know, just walking around over the past couple days. Like, I get this. Like, I know how to do this as a concert goer. I get how to go to Riot Fest, but I felt like I had to relearn it.
I feel like there's like a sense of joy
Yes.
that has been missing for decades. Like, people are just really genuinely happy to be here.
Yes.
Like,
It-
just
it
in
feel-
general, nothing to do with anything else. Just like people are just very, very happy to go see a fucking band.
It feels like an honor.
It's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, it really does. It feels like I just feel really thankful, you know, like really excited, thankful to be here, be part of the energy, and yeah.
And it's great to see people in 3D.
Yeah.
People who I haven't seen in years, people who I may have only seen as like a Hollywood Squares Zoom
Yeah.
box. Like, there were hugs. There were a lot of hugs this weekend. I'm assuming there were a lot of...
I'm not in for Zoom life. Not
No,
my jam.
None of us are.
It's not my jam.
No, now that we're back to hugging,
Yeah, that's great.
Who needs it? So Airstream Futures, you kicked off the stage. You are back. Timing is everything in everything. The last album, the album release show was March of 2020. Who could have known? Who could have known? The album's just been waiting for its moment.
Just talking about this with another person, it was like, I felt like kind of robbed a little bit, but
Of
I'm
course.
sure, I mean, everyone felt robbed with everything in life.
Yeah, you don't
But,
want to
like,
woe is me, but
we put a lot of work into that album, and it's actually one of my favorite albums I've ever made, and it just sucked to not build a tour and support it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, that's the story that's every band could tell right now that put out a record around that time. It's like, wow, cool, we worked on this. It's just in the ether. I don't know. Maybe people will hear it, you know?
Well,
it's a bummer.
I was just thinking about this because it took so long for our first record to come out.
It did, but like we were out there, we were touring.
We were still touring it. But this record we didn't get. We spent all this time and then we didn't get to tour it. So yeah, it was disappointing. But you know, there's so much other stuff going on that it's just we're just glad to be doing it now.
And you're here playing it now.
Yeah,
it's like stunted growth, but you're here.
Yeah, we sprinkled in like our set list was a lot of first record, second record, third record. Like we sprinkled in some of everything for this set just to see where everything was at. You know.
Yeah, I mean, as Devon just alluded to, we finished the new album through
I
the
was
quarantine.
getting really confused. Okay, so you had a productive quarantine?
Yeah, very productive quarantine. I mean, what else are you going to do but dive in?
Right. Or drink.
Well, both.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of wine. A lot of wine in my life.
So the album came out early in 2020, and you just got back to work. I mean, this is the Chicago way, isn't it? With the wood shedding and getting back into it.
Well, it was like, well, what are we going to do? It's like, all right, well, the record's out. We can't play. Who knows when anybody's going to see anybody again? And it's like, all right, let's start working on new songs. And then we just start bouncing. I'd send Mike and Katie ideas.
And for the record, Mike and Katie are here. They're just not in this interview. I don't want people to
They're
think
just out of focus, guys.
I don't want them to feel left out. I don't want people to think we're neglecting the other
It's
half
like
of the band.
Stillwater over here.
Mike's having
Deep
like
reference.
heat stroke, so he's sitting in the shade.
Yeah, this is one of those days. I mean, truly, like when you get home at night, you want to take off your clothes, throw them in a bin, light the bin on fire, and never think of those clothes again.
Absolutely. And just stand in front of the air conditioning unit, you know.
I love when the air conditioning's cranked. I love making it feel like you're staying at a hotel.
The irony is you're talking to two people that grew up in Las Vegas, and we're complaining about the heat.
That is ironic.
It's weird.
But it's
I feel
heat.
like I was hotter than everybody else, and I'm like, aren't I used to this shit?
It's a dry heat.
I get
The
hot,
dry
man.
heat's a little bit different.
So who's the Francophile in Airstream Futures who names the albums?
Michael.
Why does he do that?
I don't know.
Well,
It became a joke,
I
and then it
do.
became a thing.
Wait, no. So Mike's family is French. His background is he has French ancestry, and then we were talking about it and got drunk one night, and it just became a thing.
See, as an interviewer, I'm scared to talk about your albums by name.
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce them well.
I'm intimidated.
Yeah.
I freaked out having to interview Les Savifav yesterday. I mean, I'm like, fuck, I hope I don't blow this.
You're not alone.
The second album's called The Fire in the Sand. I know that.
Yeah.
Mike and I were joking the other day because I was like, yeah, The Fire in the Sand. He's like, oh, I haven't even heard the record called that. And I'm like, that's the actual name.
I like the subtitle.
Yeah.
For us Native American English speakers. Yeah. Not Native
man.
American English speakers. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's hard to learn a language as an adult.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you don't pick that stuff up in high school, forget it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did some Duolingo French lessons, and I still only know how to say I eat things. Like, I eat an apple, je mange the pomme. Like, I eat orange, je mange l'orange. I don't know. But that's it. That's like, I just know how to say I eat things.
Yeah, I retained some of my high school Spanish. Like when I go to a taqueria, it's like, oh, lengua, that's tongue. I know some of that. I retained some of those key points, but I'm not, far from conversational at this point. It seems like Airstream Futures is a band where every member kind of carries his or her own weight. I mean, you can hear it. Like everyone has a really distinct role to play, whether it's the riffs or the vocals. How democratic is the songwriting process?
Well, Mike and I played in The Bomb together for like 15 years, so we just know how to lock in. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of the same way in that band, as that band was. It's like, well, I come up with a song idea. Mike and I get together, and we know how to play together. We know what to do. And then we give it to Devon and Katie, and then it's like, all right, well, I don't know, figure it out, I guess.
Yeah, everybody does their thing on it, and then once we get in the studio, then our friends, like Rodrigo and everybody
Rodrigo
helps.
from Saves the Day, and then Derek from Alkaline Trio, who
Yeah.
helped produce the records.
Just find those like fun, cool things to add, vocal wise, and so yeah, it's like once you get all the pieces together, then you get into refining and all that stuff. But it's very democratic process. I mean, Jeff has all the ideas, for songs that just are. He has like a cave of 10,000 songs.
Always writing.
And
Always writing.
Yeah, he's always writing. So, and then it's up to everybody else to just kind of put their thing in there.
What's the best Bomb song?
What's the best Bomb song? Not Christmas.
Interesting.
It's my favorite one.
Interesting.
Absolutely. It's my favorite one because the way that Pizzotti approached that song, I remember we were recording it. When we were recording that, I was like, I had no idea what he was going to do. And neither did Jay Robbins, who produced the record. And we were just sitting there, and it was like Jeff's kind of started doing this thing, and it was like this magic happened. And I'm like, and then I remember Jeff's like, yeah, it's the most depressing of songs. And he's not fucking wrong.
You started 4-ish years ago. I'm sure there were all kinds of expectations based on your various resumes, your LinkedIn profiles, your rock and roll LinkedIn profiles. People expect you to be something. You've certainly carved your own path. How important is it to exist in and around the Chicago scene? How much does that shape Airstream Futures?
Wow, it's a big question, and it requires a big answer.
Could Airstream Futures exist if it was a Las Vegas band? Would it sound the same?
It's the sum of its parts. You know what I mean? I don't know if the scenery of the city necessarily reflects how the music comes together. I mean, I would say that in the Bomb that it definitely did because of like, you know, where we were, all of us were living and what we were doing. But I think the way that Mike and I play together, the chemistry between the two of us, and then the way that it interacts with how Devon does her thing and how Katie does her thing, I think it's just the people. It's not so much the city, you know? I mean, I love this fucking town. I've lived here longer than any place in my entire life. I'm not going any place, but the band is the people.
I agree with that a lot. I also think there's something that we do that is very I don't want to say simple, but it's not complicated. It's not you know, when you live in a big city like Chicago, New York, LA, whatever, as far as scenes go, you tend to have a lot of bands and younger bands that are doing a lot. They're doing a lot of stuff. Production-wise, you know, energy-wise, people-wise, it's big. It's a big production, and we just don't. That's not really what we do. So it's as far as like local scene-wise, being in a big city, playing like punk rock is you're always going to be kind of on the outskirts. Kind of you're never going to be the cool new thing because there's younger people doing cooler, newer things than you all the time.
All the time.
But we do what we do and we love it, so we take it wherever we go.
All right, Airstream Futures.
I think what we do is cool.
Damn it!
I think it's cool too. I'm just saying, like,
I know what you do is cool. I'm here to tell you what you do is cool.
I appreciate that, dude.
Airstream Futures. Actually, I'm pointing to the camera as we were doing this interview. I realized my phone shut down because it overheated. I'm sure the camera is not far behind it. So this is an audio only.
Okay.
Audio
That's
only
fine.
Interview. I tried.
Hey,
I tried.
No.
You do your best.
That's good because I'm red.
You're overheated?
Yeah.
None of us
Vegas kids are overheated.
None of us are feeling terribly glamorous
Yeah,
right now.
definitely don't feel glamorous.
No. All right,
I'll see me after like 8 more of these silkworm Bud Lights.
We'll
see how it'll get real
I was
glamorous.
going to change my shirt. I think I still might.
I got home last night, took a shower, and I had that fear that there would be all kinds of worms like circling the drain. I was afraid, like when I shampooed,
yeah.
there would be all kinds of.
Did you do mushrooms before you got home?
I did. I talked to my spirit animal. It was fantastic. No, but I was really like, you get neurotic. Like you have like those phantom sensations. Like, did I just feel another one? Did I?
I live right next to a forest preserve, so it's like every time I come home from a bike ride, I'm like,
Do I have ticks? Do I have leeches? What
all
did
all
I bring
of it.
home?
The gamut.
The gamut.
The gamut of.
All right.
There was a
Airstream
spider
Futures.
in my. Sorry, there was a spider in my bedroom the other night, and the entire night I thought that it was gonna dangle down into my mouth
and lay eggs and create a
eggs
spider colony in your esophagus.
Yes.
I get that. Welcome to Bug Talk. I'm here with Airstream Futures.
Fuck records, bugs.
Fuck records. That's right.
You like bugs?
It's a mass appeal topic.
Yeah,
Everyone can get something out of it. All
can get involved.
Thank you. It was great to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, dude.